at the end of the Bharata Bharati,
by Maithili Sharan Gupta.
Maithili Sharan Gupta says, सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. सबकी नसों में नर्व्स व्हाट सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त नॉट बैड रक्त पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. बलवीर्य साहस दृढ़ तथा विश्वास हो. सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. दृढ़ वीर्य साहस बल तथा हो. सबके हृदय में सर्वदा सबके हृदय में सर्वदा समवेदना का दाह हो. सबके हृदय में सर्वदा समवेदना का दाह हो. हमको तुम्हारी चाह हो, तुमको हमारी चाह हो. Isn't that beautiful? Let me remind. Let me
recite again and translate.
Okay, let
for
me
everybody.
recite now because the third line I'm missing something. सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. Not bad blood of hatred.
Meritorious blood.
That's what the punya rakta. That's a very technical word.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yes, isn't it? Bad, not English word bad blood.
Yeah.
As opposed to पुण्य रक्त.
Yeah.
सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. दृढ़ वीर्य साहस बल तथा सब में भरा उत्साह हो.
There it is. With enthusiasm.
सब में भरा उत्साह हो. सबके हृदय में सर्वदा सबके हृदय में सर्वदा समवेदना का दाह हो. हमको तुम्हारी चाह हो, तुमको हमारी चाह हो. I remember saying this at a Hindu gathering in the 70s, and the whole house stood up greeting. I said, this is from Maithili Sharan Gupta's Bharata Bharati. हमको तुम्हारी चाह हो, तुमको हमारी चाह हो. Isn't that great?
Wonderful.
This particular word. So सबकी नसों में पूर्वजों का पुण्य रक्त प्रवाह हो. दृढ़ वीर्य साहस बल तथा सब में भरा उत्साह हो. सबके हृदय में सर्वदा समवेदना का धा हो. हमको तुम्हारी चाह हो, तुमको हमारी चाह हो. Wonderful, isn't it?
क्या बात है.
When you remember these verses, I used to.
It's amazing. Your memory
inspiring,
is amazing.
Inspiring, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, these words can sustain life.
They have that life in them.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that Garga is an Aggrawal.
Yeah.
Among the Jains also Gargas are found.
Right.
But mostly Jains happen to be marrying Aggrawals, Gargas. But I was told that Guptas are very selective in that. Guptas are very strictly observant of Vaishnavism. Therefore, they do not marry Jains, non-Vaishnava Jains, that is, Aggrawals.
Non-Vaishnava Jains.
Non-Vaishnava Jains, there is no such thing as non-Vaishnava.
I know.
Non-Vaishnava Aggrawals, they prefer Vaishnavas. Whereas the other Goyal Vangara, they are common. If you are Jain, Shanti Prasad Jain's wife is a Dalmia.
That's right. That's why we
Shanti
brought him
Prasad
up.
Jain's wife is his wife's name is.
Well, and if he's an Aggrawal and you're saying Aggrawal,
Aggrawal.
So Dalmia has to be Aggrawal then.
That's what I'm saying. Aggrawal. There are 10 Aggrawals, isn't it? 10 Aggrawal Jatis. She is a Garga. Some such thing. Yeah. And you will see Bharati Jnana Pitakashi book. Inside her picture also. And so Shanti Prasad Ji Jain is a Aggrawal.
Right.
And I think he's a Goyal.
Okay.
Shanti Prasad was a Goyal, I think so. Actually, he has his all work was looked after by somebody called Goyaliya.
Okay.
Same Goyaliya, same one.
Yeah.
So these are the gods. So these were formed by when the people migrated from one place, 100 people. How to remarry? So they made village groups, and so they became sub-jatis then.
Exactly.
And so the word Goyaliya, these names are given. So they said that a Goyal may not marry another Goyal. For instance, Usha Jain is an Aggrawal.
Yeah.
Santosh Jain is an Aggrawal. Santosh Jain is a Mittal. Usha is a Sangal. So she herself told me that when she is not a Jain, she is a Vaishnava. So Arya Samaji, she said.
Right.
So they were married because वो मित्तल है और हम संगल है तो हो सकता है मत्तल मित्तल नहीं होगा मित्तल मित्तल में
नहीं that was the rule.
That was the rule. That's the way they decided that there is no together too much from the same group.
It's like gotras.
This is how the subdivisions began. This is then in that case among them also they had all sorts of not Aggrawal but other Parvars and other groups are there, that widow marriage was considered very bad among the higher ups. Therefore, if any community made widow marriage, they were called the Dasa. 10%. 20% gold is 20 carat. Bisa. Those who have got such Dasa. So Dasa Bisa, they will not marry them.
Right.
Somebody married a Dasa Bisa. So there are so many problems of this. So Aggrawals even to this day are very big businessmen. Guptas are supposed to be very shrewd businessmen. Guptas and Mittal of course is well known for his steel fellow.
Jindal, also. And the interesting is all of these guys are donating to universities.
Oh yeah, well, tax, the exemption.
Exactly. Okay, Professor, I was curious to know more about different types of Jains. Particularly, we see Vaishnava Jains or Vaishnava Aggrawals, Jain Aggrawals. What is the connection between these Baniya families and where do they come from?
As far as I know about Aggrawals, a place called Agroha, somewhere near Himachal Pradesh. Today's, they came from Agroha, therefore they are called Aggrawal. This is my understanding. They say that they had a king called Agrasen or Ugrasen, but they don't talk about Agroha part at all. People say Agra. It's not Agra at all, it's Agroha. And they came from there, and some of these are Digambaras. Most of these are Digambaras, although some have become Sthankavasis, but they are not among the Shwetambaras. Aggrawals are for the most part Digambaras.
Okay.
And that means they were Vaishnavas before becoming Jain, but they were made Jain by Digambara Acharya, Digambara Sadhu.
Right.
And who these Digambara Sadhu, they don't know. But one thing is certain, I have not yet met any Shwetambara, Murti Pujaka, that is the Shwetambaras are Murti Pujaka, means those who go to temple, and Sthankavasi, those who shun the temple altogether.
Right.
That's a Sthanak. Sthanaka means place to live, Sthan. And it used to be always for monks who come from outside, they can stay next to the temple, there is a Sthanak. So they were called, they will have nothing to do with temple, they will stay in Sthanak only, Sthanakvasi, not Mandir Margi. Whereas the majority of the Shwetamara monks, they go to the temple, they do the darshan of the, but they can't do puja because for puja is only meant for the lay people, Shravaka, Shravika. But they will only do darshana, and then they can stay in the Sthanaka, etc. So, without going into temple altogether, shunning the temple altogether, because Murti, creating Murti is Himsa. You have to cut the stone, and stone has Ekendriya Jivas. Prithvi, Ap, Tejo, Vayu. They are also earth body. Earth itself becomes body for some being. Stone has earth itself as body. There are Sukshma Jivas. You cut the, like that. This is what their teacher says there. So what happened is now that the Aggrawals are, to the extent that I know, they are almost all Digambaras. Although I met one Aggrawal who said he is a Sthanakvasi, and he said in Punjab there was a time when many Aggrawals had no teachers at all, and they stopped going to temples altogether, Jain temples. So they become Sthanakvasis, means for not going to temple. Sthanakvasi really means one who does not go to temple. Among the Shwetambaras, Sthanakvasi there is no Digambara Sthanakvasi. You follow? Sthanakvasis are only Shwetambaras. Shwetambaras are Murti Pujaka, means those who go to the temple, those who have the Janma Abhishek and all that, or rituals. Whereas Sthanakvasis are those who do not go to temple at all, saying that the image worship, etc. not. There may be Muslim influence also possible. because it started in Ahmedabad.
Oh, interesting. And what, can you explain also this Therapanthis? How does they fit into this equation? Therapanthis.
Therapanthi, this Therapanthi is itself the history of that. The Tera means 13. This is one. That 1750, around 1750, from the regular Shwetambar sadhus, who wear 3 pieces of clothes, who keep 3-4 pots for water and for food, etc., who go from walking place to place, who hold a stick in their hand, who keep a double set of clothes, one for washing, etc. So these are Shwetambar sadhus. Shwetambar sadhus are also like that. They have got an extra piece if they have menses, etc., kind of thing. And they're all going to the temple, etc. They will sit there, bhajan, this and that. They can't do puja because puja you have to dravya something. They don't have it. So the Shravakas come and greet them. And they then will tell Shravakas, okay, tomorrow you want to have fast, I will give you the fast. To take a fast, you have to say, I register. Okay, I give you the rule, tomorrow from sunrise to sunset, you will not touch water or food. Or for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, like that. So this is what they did. But I'm giving the Sthankavasi origin so that you will understand what it is.
Okay.
In Ahmedabad, the Jaina monks, as you can see, Palitana has colony of temples, all marble temple, big, carrying marble up all that here. The Jaina Setiyas had only one thing to do. Every Seth had an ambition that when I die, I should be remembered by a temple where I would have put a Jaina image, where people come and Jaina image worship. They will have punya. The Munis will say, you say, what shall I do with my money? In fact, this is a story about it, the Prabandha. What shall I do with this money? I have made so much money, and he's a jeweler. What shall I do with money? He said that if you really want to do punya, build a small temple and put an image of a Tirthankar there. So your name is what? Particular? Well, according to the names, beginning with alphabetically, the names have been divided into several Shukra, Shani, etc., etc. So he will have a Tirthankar name rhyming with his name, and that image will put there. And it will be inscription down there, said such and such performed this, and such sadhu performed saprishtha on that. So this became the regular thing to do for rich people, to have one image which carries my name, or and then children's name also. This goes all the way to Mathura. Mathura images have been found with the inscription saying which woman did this and all that, and that's all it's given.
Oh yeah.
Completely. It's
and what was the other thing you mentioned? First Jaina
Rishabha.
First Jaina image is in Mathura?
No. Mathura Jaina images carry such inscriptions.
No, I know, but yesterday you were mentioning...
Yes, I think so. The Jaina images, earliest images are found in Mathura. A Mathura museum has earliest Jaina images found in Mathura itself. Mathura has had about 200 odd inscriptions, Jaina inscriptions in Mathura. There's a whole book called Mathura Inscriptions, I think by Srinivasan or somebody. Mathura. Okay. And so Mathura was a very big Jaina thing. Later on, Buddhists also came there, and later on, of course, Mathura became the Vaishnava thing. Because the Jainas moved away from Mathura around 300 AD, 400 AD.
Oh, that early.
That early. And then they came to Gujarat and Saurashtra.
Right.
Saurashtra, not Gujarat. Saurashtra, they came down to Saurashtra.
Kathiawad.
And then Saurashtra, then they moved around Katia from up to Abu, etc. And so Gujarat and Rajasthan and the northern part of that became the Shwetambara images. And so these sadhus, Shwetambara sadhus, had many sets in their hand.
Right.
Because on Diwali day, even to this day, they carry with them in a box powder of Sugandhi Dravya, Chandan, etc. And they keep in a small pot. And a when a layman comes on the Diwali day, they Vasa Kshepa it's called. Vasa means Sugandha. Kshepa means, so they believe that if the Guru puts Vasa Kshepa, my whole year is going to be perfect. I am going to get Labha and Shubha. And so this is the belief. After all of this is empowerment. You go saying, now I'm okay.
Right, you feel good
It's
about
like
yourself.
going to a doctor and
Yeah.
he's saying, nothing wrong with you, fellow.
Yeah.
But I'll talk.
Right.
Then you feel okay then.
Yeah, yeah.
Say empowerment.
Yeah.
The same thing is done when you go to a Brahmin place. In temples,
Yeah,
in the
puja.
temple they will give you gandha
Yeah.
or bhasma, bhudi.
Yeah.
You apply.
Yeah.
Instead of Jainas found out that we are poor. No, we are not poor. We have to put bhasma. But Jainas don't use bhasma at all.
No.
Instead of they have got chandana
Yeah.
and sugandhi dravyas,
Yeah.
keshara,
Yeah.
all mixed
Yeah.
and powdered.
Beautiful.
And the Jaina sadhus
Yeah.
put that on your head a little,
Yeah.
like this, just a chimchu.
Yeah.
Vasakshepa it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Even to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
But, you know,
was
in the Vaishnava side, never any bhasma.
that's
Only
what
Shaiva stuff.
I know. Shaivas have only bhasma.
Yeah.
Vaishnavas has probably gandha probably.
Everything.
Everything,
Vaishnava is about, that Panchendriyas being.
I think they do the akshata also.
Which one? Akshata, yeah, definitely.
Akshata is there.
Uh,
The Jainas don't do the akshata.
So Akshata, Avestaru, తర్వాత Kumkum.
Yeah,
Pasupu.
kukuma, akshata, haldi also.
Yeah, Pasupu. And then you must have Sugandham.
And coconut
and
also,
then
coconut
Phalam. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So coconut is a must. Break
Oh
the
yeah, coconut is supposed to be the part of that.
Yeah,
whole thing.
so all
the
of that.
Jainas do not use any of that.
None of that,
Instead
yeah.
of vasakshepa,
Bas,
means you only pinch of that
Sugandham.
vasakshepa, which is made of the
Yeah.
most sugandhi things
Yeah,
added
yeah,
together. Keshar is the best part in
Oh,
it. Keshar.
special.
Keshar very costly also.
Yeah, saffron.
And they keep it just a little.
Yeah.
And you say empowerment. I am now empowered, so he goes on his business and he knows that he's going to succeed because he has got. It's all empowerment. Pushti marga. This is a school, isn't
Yeah.
it? Pushti
Yeah,
marga.
Pushti Margis.
The pushti means what empowerment. They're becoming.
They're hardcore.
Hardcore. Absolutely have pushti marga. So this is how the pushti marga is. There are the Vaishnavas of the very high. These monks who boycotted the temples because it had become a den of the money raising monks. They separated themselves and they were called Sthankavasis. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, lay people to whose houses these monks used to go, they refused to accept these monks. They said that you have boycotted temples, we don't care for you. Therefore, now what about them? Who will feed them?
Right.
They therefore said that anyone wants to become our chelas, grihastha, they will also have to shun the temples. They will also have to do the same way as we are doing. Don't go to temples. Don't go to the temple monks. So, Sthankavasi originally are the monks, but now their followers also became Sthankavasis. Means the followers who are regular temple goers, and it is good for them to go.
Yeah.
And yet these monks said, because temple going produces sin,
Don't go.
don't go yourself also temple. They did not say, you are lay people, you can go to temples, we are monks, we should not go. Instead of saying, you also should not go because we don't go.
Right.
जेवु यहाँ साधक है, तेवु तहाँ बाधक है.
Yeah.
They forgot it.
They forgot it.
And they Raga Dvesha said that shun these people who go to temple, they are mithya drishtis.
Yes.
They are wrong, they are not Jains. Therefore, we are superior. And therefore, they created, this is the important point.
Okay.
These monks created a clientele of their own householders who will alone pay them, who will not feed any other monks but them.
Yeah.
So they became Sthankavasi grihasthas and grihasthis. They shunned the puja making gurus as well as the Sthankavasi should be the title of a monk. But the lay people who will support
Take it
them,
up, yeah.
exclusively they said, unless you exclusively support us,
Yeah.
we don't want you at all.
Well, I think this is a key point.
This is the money part here,
Yeah.
that unless somebody, they have their exclusive group of people who will not welcome a non-Sthankavasi monk in their house for gochari.
Right.
You follow?
Yeah, I got you. But
This organization, social organization,
that's what I'm
of
saying.
exclusive
Yeah.
monopolization of
Yeah.
a community
Right.
for worldly needs,
Right.
and then enforcing upon them that we are sadhus, we
yeah.
are not supposed to go to temples to puja.
Right.
You should also not go because we don't do. This is where Sthankavasi started as a rebel group, enemies of those who go to Mandira Margi.
Yeah.
And that is why Sthankavasis were considered low,
Right.
Sthankavasis were considered rebel,
Yeah.
and then this spread like everywhere. Wherever these Sthankavasi monks, so-called Sthankavasi monks went, they had the same problem. They had to find out people who will exclusively support them only.
Yeah.
Because their condition is that if you want to give us food, you will have to stop giving food to those who go to temple. You follow?
Yeah.
How a community based upon exclusion.
Yeah. It seemed with their rebellion.
This financial thing is there.
Yeah.
Because they had to have a community exclusively.
So this-
I think among the Vaishnavas also this must have happened in some ways.
What,
That
with
if
like
you are
Swami
a
Narayan?
Sri Vaishnava, then you cannot just go into
no.
ordinary Vaishnava. You
No
cannot.
way. Oh, the Sri Vaishnava was the most intense.
That's what I'm saying.
So, but I think if I understood what you're saying, you see, it seems like once the Sthankavasi monks made their claim,
Yeah.
it was clear that they were going to get no lay support at all
No,
because
that-
everybody liked the temples.
Correct. That's
So
why
the-
they said they made a rule there.
Yeah, so the
that if you
only-
want to come to me,
Yes.
then you must shun the temples also.
Yes, so they put the onus on these guys.
Correct,
but
exactly.
then through exclusivity, that becomes attractive to some people.
And that exclusivity again needed to have a community monopolization who will support you and you alone.
Right, exactly.
And
You
will
and
not
you
support
alone.
anyone else.
No.
That is how all Therapanthis among the Jainas now,
Yeah.
who are mostly Rajasthani people
Yeah.
and some Gujarati people,
Yeah.
they have originally not been Jains, but made Jains by some of these sadhus, and then on the condition that you will not even look at the temple.
Right, but now this is what I was asking. Sthankavasi, Therapanthi, what is the connection?
Sthankavasi, Sthankavasi started around 1450,
Right.
increasingly grow, and then they came out of Gujarat into Kathiawad into upper Gujarat, Patan, and then moved up to Rajasthan, etc.
Yeah.
So they were in large numbers. Then, around 1750, I have written about in my book, Chaurasi Bol, at the end.
Yeah.
There was one there was one Jaina sadhu of this Therapanthi. Okay?
Well, what Therapanthi? We haven't got to
No,
Sthankavasi.
of this Sthankavasi.
Yeah.
Who had who had asked his disciple, his name is Bhikanji.
Oh yeah, I know.
Bhikanji Maharaj.
Yeah.
Bhikshu they call, Acharya Bhikshu.
Yeah.
Now, he has been made into Sanskritized Acharya Bhikshu.
Right.
Bhikanji Maharaj. His name is Bhikanji.
Yeah.
His original name is Bhikan, Bhik Magne Wala. They did not change the names.
Yeah.
Digambaras changed the name, Shanti Sagar, Samanta Bhadra, Sagar.
Yeah.
But names, Shwetambaras did not change the names.
Mm.
Only Murti Pujaka De, Vijay Vallabha Suri, etc. Vallabha ending.
Right.
But Punya Vijaya ending are all Shwetambara Murti Pujakas.
Yeah.
Whereas these people did not change their names. And so, I think his name is Raghunath or some such name. He asked his disciple, look here, there is a dog there. Please make sure that it gives water to that dog. That Bhikanji said, I did not become a monk to take care of animals. That's the beginning of split
Yeah.
from Sthankavasi
Right.
into a separate pantha.
Yeah. There you go.
In 1750 this happened.
Yeah.
And the person's name is Bhikan.
Yeah.
Bhikanji Maharaj.
Yeah.
Later on, Acharya Tulsi, who are in that line,
Yeah.
they call him Acharya Bhikshu.
Yeah.
Bhikanji becomes Bhikshu. He is the originator
Yeah.
of a pantha, means a
Right.
part
Yeah.
out of the Sthankavasi,
Right.
who he had only 13 chelas to begin with.
There it is.
12 and plus 1
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
It was called Tera Panth, 13 लोगों का पंथ है.
It's like the 12 disciples.
Huh?
Correct. It's like the 12 disciples.
Including
of Christ.
himself,
Yeah.
12 people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. So Tera Panth, they were called Terapanthis.
Got
But
it.
then they said Tera Panth, and they have written themselves. Bhikanji Maharaj said, भगवान महावीर, यह तेरा पंथ है.
अच्छा, तेरा पंथ है. ऐसा, हाँ.
भगवान का पंथ है.
हाँ.
हमारा तेरा पंथ है. Instead of Tera 13, Tera पंथ, that Tera पंथ नाम stuck there, and those disciples of Bhikanji Maharaj, Tera पंथ. This is how, and the last of that is Acharya Tulsi, Tera पंथ. They are all Oswals only.
Period.
Tera Pantha, today's Tera Pantha, who is in Ladnu, of which Acharya Tulsi passed away. Acharya Tulsi is the one whose big picture was shown in that day. Tara Sethia had that lecture. That fellow.
Someone gave
Acharya
a
Tulsi is in
presentation.
Ladnu. He established the whole thing.
Yeah.
And their religion does not believe Daya.
Yeah.
Their
No
religion
grace.
is that these Terapanthis, Bhikanji Maharaj's disciples, Daya is not allowed, because Daya means that you are going to feed the animal. Animal feeding is not dharma. Bird feeding is not dharma. Giving poor man, no dharma. Dharma is only giving ahara food. When they come to collect kochari, sadhu and sadhvis of their own Terapantha, only food given to the sadhvis is punya.
Yeah.
All else is papa, because you are going to increase the papa that he is going to do by feeding him.
Yeah.
A poor man who has no vratas, who has kept nothing, you give him money, he will drink or he will eat, you are increasing his papa. Therefore, the word daya was slashed out. Daya, which was considered the base of ahimsa, that out of karuna, ahimsa, daya, nothing at all. Because daya means that you are going to give to people who have no dharma. Only thing that there is dharma, punya, is giving food when they come to collect food to the Shvetambara, non-murti pujaka, Sthankavasi sadhu and sadhvis, Terapanthis, that alone is meritorious, because they are the ones who are going to go to moksha. And they branded all other sadhus. Digambaras were branded long time ago. All other sadhus of the Shvetambara group as mithyatvis, as wrong. Daya dharma is really not himsa dharma, because the one when you do daya on an animal, that dog whom you fed, that dog is going to chew bones, and bones has jivas. See what I'm talking about? So that what Banaras Das said, that जे वो यहाँ साधक है, ते वो तहाँ बाधक है. Instead of they say sadhaka for whom? There is no such thing as sadhaka. Bad thing is bad. Give up now.
Right.
So a Sanskritization of the Prakrit, similarly monasticization of the lay people. That you also behave like monastic people.
Yes.
You don't go to temple also. Like we. But the lay people are continuously in the business. They are making money, this and that. Where to the Sthankavasi people, therefore they don't give money to temples. They can't build temples. So what do? They do works of the going to library. They are the ones who are giving chair, etc. Because they have got money, they don't know how to give it. Punya papa, they have got fear. And they make. I will tell you something. This is something strange. I think I have told you. In September of 1956, when I was supposed to go to London, Thomas Cook had let me know that they have reserved a cabin for myself, etc. But I had to pay for my wife.
Right.
That they had not said, because
But Ruff said he'd pay for it, right?
Yeah, but later on they came to know that I was married even.
Achha.
At that time when Ruff was, I had married after receiving Ruff's letter.
Right.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So they were not aware that I was married or anything at all. So they had reserved only cabin for one person. Thomas Cook wrote me. I had to get $1,000 for fare for my wife. Who had the money, that kind of thing. And in September of that 56, after having married, I brought my wife and mother to Banaras. And then I got the permission from Banaras University that I can go to London. Okay?
Yeah.
So And in September month, there is Chaturmasam, is the 4 months, the
Rainy season.
rainy season. For 8 days, Jainas have Ashta, Dashalakshana Parva, something like that. 8 days fast, some people do.
Yeah.
Ashta.
I used to see this a lot.
And Calcutta has a very Jain community. Shwetambar Jain community, Sthankavasi Jain community.
Well, that's because a lot of these Aggrawals moved to
Aggrawal
Calcutta.
and jute business.
Yeah.
That they were the ones that was jute business.
Yeah.
Jute was a big business. They had to make the jute things to carry gonis, in which you put the things.
Yeah. Jute bags.
Jute bags that was the big business they had.
Huge business.
And these were all Marwadis from Oswal, Osias. They had heard that Jaini has been invited to London for this, etc. So somebody suggested during the 8 days of the holy days, why not ask Jaini to come to this lecture, to give us a lecture. So in Banaras University, I received a telegram from somebody from Calcutta. I don't remember now. Would you be able to come for a talk during this 8 days period? We'll be very honored, and we'll send a ticket immediately, etc. So Banaras to Calcutta regular, there is a train. So I said, okay. They housed me in a very rich man, Singhi, his name. There's a Singhi Jain Granthamal also, big one. So I stayed there. And then in the afternoon, I gave a talk in Hindi. And it was well attended by lay people. Most of them are non-Digambaras. There were very few Digambaras in that, but quite a few of them were followers of Tulsi and Therapanthi people. So they're all Marwadis. They're all from Marwad. They asked me so many questions and this and that. There was a Brahmin also asking me questions. So I told him, you really don't want to know. You want to find out if I know. I told him, because they had no pandit, so they had asked a Brahmin to come and question me. So when he asked me some questions, I said, you really don't know. You really don't want to ask this question. You just want to impress people that you can ask a question. Pandit ji, aisa hi hai na? Chup bhai. Then I gave a talk on whatever for a whole hour or two. And question answer. They were all very pleased. Men mostly, very few women. This is 100% true.
Okay.
Means I'm not adding anything.
Right.
Then at the time of leaving, I left, and it was not customary to give any money immediately. Honor is sent later on, something like that. Otherwise, for Panditji who is invited, they give you fare of the train fare, and there is a customary way of giving him a packet with which some money inside, kind of thing. That Digambaras did for their own Pandits during this time. Nobody gave me anything. I left. I said, I now have to catch the train, so will you please take me now? I am reminded of the train picture I given in the picture behind me of that. So as I came to the Calcutta station and I was boarding the train, an old man with Marwadi style dress, kacha, they build the twice and all that, and with old fashioned fellow, came running, and as I was holding the door and was going to go up, he put it in my hand, a packet, saying that, open it when you go to Banaras. Banaras jayenge tab kholna. It was a packet in my hand. So I went, and they had reserved a second class ticket for me. And it was not full. There was enough room. So I went into bathroom to find out. 2,500 rupees cash. I was shocked. 2,500. Who gave? Nobody knows. I said, I had previous to means what, a month before that, I had asked Manichand Chaure, whose life I have given you the other day, that he is the one who ran the ashram, Karanja ashram, Manichand Chaure, that for my wife's going to London, I will need 1,000 rupees. As well as I want to give some money also to live with my mother. So 1,500, something like that. Will you be good enough to give me? I will, as soon as I go to London, I will send this. And he had said, at any time I can do that. Please let me know how you want to send, by money order or whatever. Manichan Savra immediately said. When I got that money, oh my, did I say what?
Yeah.
1250, not 2,000, 1,250 rupees. It was 1,250 rupees. I think so.
Yeah.
I may, it was not 2,000, no. It was 1,250, 100 notes.
Yeah.
Notes, 100 notes,
Yeah.
something like that in a small packet.
Yeah.
He gave me 1,250, something like that.
Mm.
Then I thought, my God, Manichan Savre I had asked for 1,000 or 1,200 rupees, and this fellow is giving me exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
What a miracle it is.
It is.
So as soon as I came, it was 2005. It was I think, yeah, it was close to 2,000, something like that. Then,
Whatever it was, you asked for some amount and you got that amount.
and what is more I got, I immediately thought of Samantabhadra Maharaj. I said, because of you, this is happening to me. I sent 500 rupees check to Manichan Savre saying, this is my first donation to Karanja Ashram.
Wow.
Out of what I have got, now I don't need the money I had asked you for. Please keep it. And Samantabhadra Maharaj, who received it, so he wrote me a letter saying, Manasam unnatam yasya,
No.
bhagyam tasya samunnatam.
Oh, wow.
One whose manasa is unnatam is high.
High,
His
raised.
bhagya is also high.
Wow.
So he says, you are sending money of your first 500 rupees, we appreciate. But since you are in need of money at this time, you can really keep it. And once your need is over, then you can send it. It will not be wrong. Maharaj wrote in his own Marathi letter. I have saved it.
Wow.
I'm publishing all his letters also.
Oh, good,
So,
Professor. Please
so
do that.
then he sent me this letter. So that was my first donation to Ashram, Karanja Ashram, 500 rupees out of that money.
Very good.
And then I'm like, who this person was, who gave, I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Then, after many, the Professor Tatia, about whom I have written, how Tattva Sutra, who translated that which is and that, all that, Tatia. He came here, Tatia. He was for a while teaching at McMaster,
Oh,
Tatia.
same as TR.
Yeah. And then his daughter is married here somewhere in Chicago. Tatia told me that, I said, Tatiaji, who is this fellow who might have given me that cash money in my hand without telling me? He said, there is a fellow called Dugad who is a Therapanthi, who gives Gupta Dana only, because Therapanthis are not supposed to give Dana to other than sadhu sadhvis of their own.
Yeah.
All else is mithya drishtis.
Yeah.
And there,
Under the table,
they
Jain
are under the
donations.
table, they do, without telling a name, without telling anybody who is, and his last name is Dugad.
What? Okay.
The other day, 4 months ago, Tara Sethia came here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
with her husband.
Yeah.
She was meeting
Nirmal?
somebody in the Bay Area, and she said, may we come and see her husband Nirmal.
No.
They both came here.
He's a
And when I
sweetheart.
told him this story, Tatya said it was Dugad. Jaini ji, I am a Dugad. Dugad is the last name.
Yeah.
And I said, do you know about this Dugad? I have also heard about him, that he's very famous for his Gupta Dana. But she did not know why it is Gupta Dana. Then I told her, because Therapanthi believe that any such gift is increase in the mithya drishti's papa. That when she gave money, when that fellow gave me money, according to his teaching, any money spent on non-bhikshus and bhikshunis of their own is all increasing papa.
Right.
And therefore, this should be barred. Therefore, he does Gupta Dana only.
Right.
See the how come. So what I'm saying is that this Sthankavasi, what happened is that जे भी यहाँ साधक है तेवं तहाँ बाधक है. Baki raga dvesha नहीं की क्या बात. What happened is that these Therapanthi sadhus declare that all non-Therapanthi sadhus are haram.
Yeah, mithya drishtis.
What? Not only they are mithya drishtis, all of their followers are haram. Because
Oh, right, won't take anything
can't.
from them. Yeah.
Only pure ones are the sadhus of their own sect,
Yeah.
and only those who give ahara to them,
Yeah.
they are earning punya. Everything else is papa.
My gosh.
Daya is papa.
Yeah.
If you are saving a dog, you are also increasing the bone chewing. Therefore, daya is not correct.
Right.
Because daya is himsa.
Right.
This perversity of it made Therapantha such a bad word.
Yeah.
But Acharya Tulasi realized that he was shunned by it. Then he established Ladnu.
Yeah.
And in Ladnu he established a Samani group, that a girl can, without marrying, without becoming a sadhvi, she can become a samana by taking the celibacy route, and then she can go abroad at church. So Samanis came here,
Yeah.
and there are quite a few. But they are not going to marry. They have finished their education, but they can become sadhvi anytime, etc., etc. So he produced a new one. He had far side.
Yeah.
So he made many changes.
Yeah.
And he does not, but still the original factor remains, that any money spent on other than the sadhvis of their own group is increasing papa only.
Right.
Therefore, be careful. If you do Gupta Dana,
Gupta Dana.
that's why he doesn't want anybody to know that he's giving Dana to an undeserving person.
Right. So on this point, you mentioned Gupta. Gupta is a family name.
No. Gupta simply means what the
Hidden.
Sikh.
I know.
Gupta Dana is that has nothing to do with the Guptas.
I know, Professor.
Yeah.
I'm making a transition.
I know.
So, because I want to get
I
back.
think they have a Guptas actually is a short form for Sena Gupta.
Could
It's
be.
a Bengali name, Sena Gupta.
Same Gupta, yeah, of course.
Sena Gupta. So Guptas are one of the Aggrawals. Aggrawal Jati is Gupta.
So this is what I'm coming to.
Yeah.
Guptas are Aggrawals,
Guptas are Aggrawals.
but they're Vaishnavas.
All of the Guptas are Vaishnavas.
Right. And yet we have Gupta families marrying into Jain families.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That Gupta families very rarely marry Jain families.
Well, except my good friends are like that.
I know, but still very rare. What I'm saying
it's
is
very
that
rare. Okay.
very rare. Only the first five: Goyal, Sangal, Mittal, Jindal,
And
Garg.
Garg.
These are families where both Jains and Vaishnavas marry each other.
Okay.
So only rule is that the girl accepts the religion without abandoning her own, whichever house she goes.
Okay.
So this is the primary rule.
Right.
If you are Aggrawal, if you are one of the five, but you can't marry the same. Garga cannot marry Garga.
Right.
So this is the rule. And therefore, since the Jain community is a small one compared to Vaishnava community,
Right.
the Jainas brought their daughters from Vaishnava community. Seldom you will find Jaina girl going into Vaishnava household, because there are not enough of Jains. So Shanti Prasad Jain, the one who established the Bharati Jnanapith, etc., his wife is related to our own Vasudha Dalmia.
Oh.
She told me
Oh.
that she is a Garg. His wife is a Garg and she is a Vaishnava.
Got it.
Yeah. So Vaishnava Jaina marriage
Yeah.
among the Aggrawals,
Yeah.
if you are of the first five up to Garga,
Right.
is commonly done because there are not enough Jains to marry.
Yeah.
Vaishnava don't bring Jain girls because there are not enough Jain girls.
Although
the Jains bring Vaishnava girls.
The one example that I know, my friends, is like that.
That's right.
The mom is Jain.
Yeah.
And the husband is a Gupta.
Yeah,
This
but-
is uncommon, right?
And another also, Guptas are also supposed to be very orthodox minded.
Right.
And they are Aggrawals,
Yeah.
but they are, and yesterday I quoted you, Maithili Sharan Gupta.
You're right.
He is the Rajasthani person. And this Gupta, again we don't know why Gupta, according to, there are 2-3 theories.
The Bengalis also have Das Gupta, by the way.
Das Gupta, Sen Gupta.
Yeah, so
Therefore, whether Gupta is a short form of something else, we don't know.
yeah.
Whether the Sena Gupta, Das Gupta is, again we do not know. Whether the Bengali, because there was a Karnataka rule in Bengal. Lakshmana Sena is a Karnataka king, during which time the Muslims came and did destruction. That is the famous one.
Right.
That initially Bengali, Dharmapal, etc., they're all there.
Yeah.
Then,
Oh yeah, all that Pal dynasty.
but later on, Lakshmana Sena, I think at the end, when the Muslims come and conquer the whole thing in the middle of the night, there is a Maharashtrian Brahmins brought there also. They are called Gauda Saraswata, therefore. Gauda means Bengal. So Gauda Saraswatas are...
This is a very specific...
Gauda Saraswatas are meat eaters, fish eaters, not meat. Fish eaters. Like, and Bengali Brahmins eat
Most
fish.
Bengali Brahmins eat fish.
So fish is considered...
Jalapushpam.
Jalapushpam. They just eat. For them it's not meat at all. So Gauda Saraswata, I made research on that. How did the word Gauda Saraswata came? Saraswati river, those who come from that are called Saraswata. From Kashmir. Jawaharlal Nehru is a Kashmiri Brahmin. He is a Saraswata Brahmin. Suradas is a Saraswata Brahmin. Okay? Suradas, the famous Saraswata Brahmin. So Saraswata Brahmins were considered very high caste Brahmins. Saraswati river from that area came. They are Saraswati, Kashmiri Brahmins, etc. Saraswati Brahmins. And so then these Saraswati Brahmins were brought to Bengal during the time of Lakshmana Sena, according to some theory. Bengali, among the kings, Lakshmana Sena, I think is that. During that time, according to some, even the Lakshmana Sena is a Karnataka dynasty which comes to Bengal. And he brings Brahmins in Bengal from outside. And those Brahmins who came, Saraswata Brahmins, and settled there, Gauda, they started eating. Originally the Saraswats did not eat fish. Those who came to Bengal, they started eating fish, etc. So when they returned after the fall of the Hindu dynasty under the Muslim rule, then when they returned to Maharashtra and other areas, other Brahmins will not eat with them because they are fish eaters. So Gauda Saraswatas, even to this day, Bhandarkar, the famous Bhandarkar is a Gauda Saraswat.
Oriental Institute.
His follower Katre is also a Gauda Saraswat. And they speak at home a Konkani language.
A lot of them are Konkani.
A lot of them are Konkani. So again, main thing is that why are they called Gauda? Gauda,
but
because
Gauda is
Bengal,
right?
a district of Bengal is called Gauda. And they went there, therefore they are fish eaters, and therefore the other Deshastha, Konkanastha Brahmins, Chitpavan Brahmins, they will not eat with them. This is the whole, but they are very bright people. These Konkanastha, these Gauda Saraswatas are, their names are like Pai. The Pais have a big medical school in the Udupi area.
Are my mathematics professor? Pai. Also Konkan. All Konkan guys.
All Konkan. That's what I'm saying. That these are Konkanis also, they are called. And they are the Pai. Kamat is another name of them. Kamathi, originally Kamathi. Kamathi becomes Kamat.
They're Konkan?
Konkanastha. They are Gauda Saraswats.
Gauda Saraswat.
Bhandarkar Institute, Bhandarkar is a Gauda Saraswat. So these became these very intelligent people, and British people found them to be excellent administrators. And so they appointed quite a few of them in their ICS offices, etc., etc. So they became immediately picked up by British people. Knew that they were Brahmins, but they were not Pakka Brahmins, that they will not mix with the others. Like other Puneri, Chitpavan Brahmins, for example. Chitpavans will not meet with anybody. They will not take water from non-Chittapavans. So British people found these Brahmins to be amenable because they were meat eaters. A Brahmin eating meat outside Bengal was unknown. And for them, wow, this is okay, then you can come to our party. They would come. So this is how. So what I'm trying to say is this now, that there is a basis for forming your own group in order to sustain yourself, even if you are an ascetic group. Sthankavasis had to find a people community which will exclusively support them and not support anyone else at all. For that, they had to practice exactly what the sadhus were practicing, not going to temple. In other words, what was sadhaka for them, they said that also is badhaka. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why Banarsi Das
Banarsi Das said it
जे
right.
वो यहाँ साधक है ते वो तहाँ बाधक है.
Yeah.
What is sadhaka for the lay person is not sadhaka for the muni.
Yeah.
Therefore, you give it up.
Yeah.
But then don't say that even now for sadhaka it's badhaka. That's what always whenever the Protestant comes, he wants to do the same thing.
I mean, honestly, that's what colonialism is.
Absolutely, you're right. Yes.
I mean, that is the definition. It says, I come, I impose my perspective on you, and I tell you how you should feel about yourself.
And this is what Hindus bought for a long time.
I know.
Hindus were so brainwashed.
Yeah.
You are bad. And
We're still brainwashed.
Yeah, brainwashed.
We're still running after Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Okay, let me not get too excited. I stop it now, Professor.